Hi guys, and welcome to Thankful Thursdays with me, Kel. So this video is actually going to be uploaded a little bit late this week, as it's actually early on Friday morning now and I've been away for the last couple of days. This is the first chance I got to record it. As you probably noticed in the first few seconds of this video, I've undergone a bit of a drastic haircut this last week, but it is still me, Kel. So this week's topic, which I suspect will produce quite a short video, is about normalising your eating speed in recovery. So I don't think when I had my eating disorder I was that conscious of the speed at which I ate food, but during my own recovery and having observed other people with eating disorders and other people in recovery, it seems to be that lots of people with eating disorders either eat quite quickly to get the eating over and done with because it makes them feel quite anxious and uncomfortable and they don't want to spend too long doing it, or alternatively they eat quite slowly because it's difficult and they don't want to do it and they're kind of trying to postpone the inevitable, really. And I think looking back at my eating disorder and my recovery, when I was actually ill I ate quite slowly, but then when I began to recover I ate quite quickly. And thinking about why I did that, which is basically the reasons that I just said, I suspect that that's probably quite normal. Although I have experienced people eat quite quickly throughout or eat quite slowly throughout. The first time I was actually aware of my eating speed in terms of my eating disorder was actually when I went to the inpatient place here and we were given, a set time within which to eat our meals, and that's quite standard for inpatient treatment. And where I went we were given 30 minutes to eat, and I remember thinking that was, really not very long to eat a meal in. But now that I'm recovered I can see that that's probably quite average and quite acceptable. What really helped me in terms of accepting my eating speed was not so much being given a set time like that, but observing the people that I was with and trying to, if I was eating a meal with somebody, trying to finish my food around the same time they finished their food without putting too much pressure on myself, because obviously when I first started to recover it had been some time since I'd at sort of a normal pace, and so I had to give myself time to cope with the change and also my body time to cope with the change, because your digestion is going to be affected and because you are probably experiencing anxiety when you're in the earlier stages of recovery, perhaps even in the later stages of recovery. So I think that definitely having somebody that you can eat with, or maybe even a few people you can eat with, so you can get sort of kind of an experience of different people's time frame for eating, and can really help in terms of you normalising your eating behaviour. Alternatively, I suspect if you spoke to your dietitian about it, if you do have a dietitian, then they'd probably be able to talk to you about that. And I believe there are some types of treatment, and I don't think that it's available in the UK, but a treatment in which you eat with your plate on a machine. I don't know if any of you guys have had this. Basically the machine tells you if you've been eating at a normal pace, and I think that would be quite helpful for any of you that's available to. But if you don't have that and you don't have a dietitian and there isn't somebody that you can eat with, I think the time that I was given when I was very briefly inpatient was kind of a good average, which was 30 minutes for meals and 15 minutes for snacks. But I think what's really important is that, providing it's safe for you to do so, that especially in the early stages you do it at your own pace. I didn't have the pressure, because I wasn't inpatient for very long, of having to fit within that 30 minutes or having to fit within that 15 minutes, and I did over time as I let go of my behaviours, stopped eating slowly or eating too quickly. But I think what's really important is that you ask yourself why you're eating really quickly or really slowly. It might be the same explanation as what I came up with, or it might be different, and if you can think about that and break that down and see if that makes sense or not, then that might be helpful to you. For example, when I was eating really slowly, I was kind of putting off the inevitable. I had to eat this food, but I really didn't want to, so I was eating slowly, kind of, so I didn't have to be facing it. But when I looked at that when I was recovering, I realised that I was just, causing myself extra anxiety because I was stretching it out. And of course what I didn't want to do was to end up shoving the food down me and eating too quickly, but at the same time I didn't want to be causing myself any additional anxiety just by that eating disorder behaviour of eating more slowly. And I think that this behaviour is a behaviour that you'll find across the eating disorders. People who binge generally would eat quite quickly, and that's something for them to change. And I don't know if people that binge would eat differently if you're eating a regular meal, if you would find that you still ate that slowly or quickly, or if that was still normal. I know that on the binges I had, they were quite quick, but that I was still eating slowly when I was eating regularly. And it's quite interesting to look at why you do different things, and that understanding helps you kind of combat the eating disorder thoughts about that. And so that's about everything I have to say on that topic. That's pretty short. I don't know how actually long I've been talking for, but I hope you're all doing well. And if you do have any other useful suggestions or things that have worked in terms of normalising your eating speed, then do put that in the comment box, and I'm sure it'll be helpful for somebody. So I'll see you next week, guys. Take care. Bye.